Hello and welcome to vlearnias. Today we have selected 6 news articles from today's newspaper. This is relevant in both prelims as well as mains. So moving to the first article, that is Dadasaheb Phalke Award for actor Wahida Rahman. So this is relevant in prelims part, mainly in art, theatre as well as drama. So that's why we took the article here. So, the Dadasaheb Phalke Award, it have been announced by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Just remember the ministry that is concerned with the Dadasaheb Phalke Award. So, what is the Dadasaheb Phalke Award? Actually, it's a part of National Film Awards and it have been named after Dundiraj Govind Phalke. He's a pioneering filmmaker who gave India its first film. So that is Raja Harishchandra 1930. So just remember all these points that here the most relevant part is the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. They announced the award which have been selected. Okay, the persons who are selected for these awards. And the past nominees were the past recipients of the award were Amitabh Bachchan in 2018 and in 2019 it's Rajinikanth and now it's in they have selected the other one. Okay. So the award, it have been considered the highest honor in Indian film fraternity. If someone is considered or someone is chosen, means if it is awarded for the outstanding contributions to the growth and development of Indian cinema. So if a person is seen to be fit for this criteria, then they got nominated and they get the award. And about Dadasaheb Phalke Award, it have been instituted by Government of India in 1969, as well as it mainly consists of Swarna Kamal and a cash prize which is worth 10 lakh and a certificate and silk roll as well as the shawl. Also, the award is presented by President of India. So this is the main part of Dadasaheb Phalke Award. So here we can see that Rajinikanth is the winner the year 2019 and he got the award. He received the award in 2021 and Asha Parekh in 2020 and he got 2022. And Amitabh Bachchan also got the award in 2018 and he got the award in the year of 2019, I think so. And now Wahida Rahman is selected for the achievement in the year 2021. Okay, so this is about the news. So moving to the next article, this is relevant in GS paper 1 as well as in GS paper 2. It's about the Kaveri water. And here it's the water resources and interstate relations and dispute redressal mechanism, tribunals as well as the cooperative federalism. So these are the important prelims as well as mains perspective in UPSC examination. So the news is CWRC directs Karnataka to release 3,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu till October 15th. So here the CWRC means Kaveri Water Regulation Committee. And what do you mean by cusecs? It is the cubic feet per second. So it is the cusecs. Okay, so what about in news? In news, the Kaveri Water Regulation Committee have been decided that Karnataka should have to release the water at the rate of 3,000 cubic feet per second to Tamil Nadu from September 28 to October 15. So this is about the news article. And their revised quantity of 3,000 cusecs have been released at Billigundulu on the interstate border, and we already know about the Billigundulu reservoir. We will deal about the Kaveri water dispute in another article because it's a really important article in our UPSC perspective. So that's why though we will not get the enough time to complete all the news articles today. So that's why we have just took only the news articles here only. And this meeting was held by CWRC and the assisting body for the Kaveri Water Management Authority, that is CWMA. And what about Karnataka's stand? The Karnataka is now too, they are just insisting about their inability to continue the release of water. But what about Tamil Nadu's demand? They are just demanding at least 12,500 cusecs to be released for the coming weeks. So this is about today's news articles. And about the Kaveri River. Actually, the Kaveri River, it rises on Brahmagiri Hill of Western Ghats in southern West Karnataka state, and it flows in a southeasterly direction through the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and descends the Eastern Ghats in a series of great falls. Okay, so this is about the Kaveri River, and its tributaries are Arkavati, Hemavati, Lakshmana Tirtha, Shimsa, Kabini, and Harangi. And this is about the Kaveri Basin. This is important in map study. So we will deal with another article here. So coming to the third news, it is about the internet restrictions in Manipur. Recently the issues are happening there because of the tribal conflicts, and we already know some sensitive news, and I am not discussing here. Here it is mainly related to the school that shut in Impal over the protest, and 2 students are missing there. So now we have to look the UPSC perspective in this particular article. Okay, that is the internet shutdown. So what do you mean by internet shutdown? Actually, it is an intentional disruption of the internet services in a particular area. So how it can be implemented? Actually, it can be implemented in different ways. How? We can, it like including the blocking access to specific websites or platforms, or throttling or slowing down the internet speeds, or completely cutting off the internet connectivity. So in lots of ways we can implement the internet shutdown. Okay, it can be temporary, or it may be lasting for a few hours or few minutes or days, or it can be prolonged or weeks or months or years. We can't decide about that. Okay, it depends upon the government. So the rising trend of internet shutdowns in India, we already know the recent issues like in Jammu and Kashmir. They have been accounted for the highest number of internet shutdowns. Okay, so after Jammu and Kashmir, the place goes to Rajasthan, then the West Bengal. Okay, so this is about the rising trends of internet shutdowns in India. And according to the Access Now report, India witnessed 109 internet shutdowns in the year 2020 against the 155 lockdowns all over the world. Okay, so India got the more, it's a huge number. Okay, and the instances of major internet shutdowns in India, we already know about Jammu and Kashmir, and it is related to the Article 37, and also they have finally lifted a long gap of 18 months in February 2021. So 18 months they got the internet shutdown. And about the Manipur government, recently they have banned internet to maintain the law and order after the ethnic violence broke out in the state. We already know about the ethnic violences happened between the Kuki tribes and between the Métis. Okay, so this is the reason now they are suffering with the internet shutdowns and the associated problems. And the legality of internet shutdowns in India. Of course, there should be legality. Otherwise, government can't do that. So the first one is Section 144 of CRPC, and they are just imposed largely under Section 144 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. And above, they gave the policy and the district magistrate the powers in order to prevent the unlawful gathering of people, and also to direct any person to abstain from a certain activity. And the reasons behind internet shutdown. Why government is choosing this method, that is the shutdowning of internet? They are just raising some reasons in order to promote the internet shutdowns. So let's look on that particular reasons. The first main concern is about the national security. This is the major government justification from government about the internet shutdown. Okay, means the specific communication channel is necessary to prevent the coordination of illegal activities. So in order to disrupt the coordination of illegal activities, terrorist threats, and also to maintain the public safety, they are just noting or going with the internet shutdowns. And the second one is the political control as well as the suppressions. That is, during the period of political unrest or protest, Authorities may restrict access to prevent the spread of informations, curb organization efforts, or silence dissent. So this is the second point. And the third one is curbing the spread of misinformations. In order to stop the spread of misinformations, government have to stop the internet. And the fourth one is preserving national unity or stability. Okay, so and the preventing the exam cheating. It's like some countries have implemented internet shutdowns during the national examinations to prevent cheating and ensure the integrity of the testing process, like China. Okay, so these are the major reasons put by the government. And what will happen to internet shutdowns after the internet shutdowns? Okay, surely there may be certain impacts, and which is the first one is majorly go to the economic impact. We will lose lots of things because of this internet shutdown. Okay, and the second one is disruption of communications. And third one is about the limitation of education and research, and impediment to healthcare services, impact on fundamental rights. How the fundamental rights are affecting here? That's the right to speech, conduct business, access to healthcare, express dissent, and movement of people in a state. Everything is compromised because of these internet shutdowns. And what about journalism? It will also affect the ground reporting, and it will causes the underreporting of local issues. And certain news will not be come out because of the lack of internet. So these are the main impacts. And the next one is the risk of privacy. How it affects the privacy? Because if we are not getting the internet or other if some websites are not getting in our phone, then what will happen? People will turn on the untrustworthy VPNs. We already know about the VPNs. Okay, so people will choose the VPNs over the normal methods, and what will happen? It will risk their personal data. They have to compromise their personal data in order to get to the website or the particular thing they need. So this is a type of risk to privacy. And the next one is disrupts the political transparency. So it's like promoting public discussions, overseeing the electoral process. Everything will be affected because of this internet shutdowns. So these are the major impacts of internet shutdowns. So moving to the next article, which is about the balsams in full bloom artificial treat in Munnar. So balsams, and this is relevant in environment and ecology in GS paper 3. And what do you mean by balsams? It's genus Impatiens. Okay, it is called Kashtumba or the Onappu. It's locally in Kerala. And the balsams is also known as touch me not plant. Why it is called as touch me not? Because it have a bursting nature seeds. Okay, it's bursting of mature seeds as well as the seeds distributions lead them to call as touch me not. And also balsam is a good indicator in environment. It shows that microclimate is still active in the Munnar hill station. So this is relevant about balsams. Around 220 balsam species are present in India, and over 135 species have found in the southern western Ghats. Here, Idukki, it's in Kerala. It is called as diversity of balsams by the former botany professor at St. Thomas College, Pala. And about Anamudi. Anamudi, it is the highest mountain in the Western Ghats, and this hill is surrounded by a wide range of or the diversity of the wild balsams. And new species are being discovered from this area too, and the newly discovered species are endemic to the higher ranges. So more than 30 species of balsams in the Periyar Tiger Reserve have been also noted. And about its habitat. The balsams are in humid habitats, and it grows inside the pockets of forest areas. Its normal life cycle is from June to December. Its major indicator species of the climate change. This is important in prelims perspective. UPSC. Okay, so balsam is an indicator species of the climate change. So moving to the next article, this editorial that is about the Aadhaar card. So about the security and privacy concerns related issues, that is the identity banks. This is relevant in GS paper 2 as well as GS paper 3. So the report, a decentralized finance and digital assets, is a report, so incausally titled report. They have warned that there is security risks as well as the privacy risks as related to the Aadhaar. So why? As we already know that Aadhaar is the world's largest digital ID program. Okay, it have both biometric as well as the demographic details of over a billion residents. So if the Aadhaar is not secure, what will happen? It will leads to identity issue or the security risks as well as the privacy risks, because a billion residents have their details are enrolled in Aadhaar. So this is a major concern of issue. Okay, so the security and privacy risks are because of it's from the centralized digital ID system. A single entity is controlling all these credential things. Okay, so that's why major concern is happening here. If the single entity is not adequate or the reliability is very less, then what will happen there? Everything we will lose. So there are some concerns are over there. So first one is system often results in service denials, that is the improper services are getting. And the second one is about the reliability of biometric technologies for manual labors in hot and humid climates. It's also a questionable portion. So in spite of all these concerns, what happened? Government is continuously pushing to switch all the payments under the MG Nareka, that is the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, to an Aadhaar based payment system. So this 12-digit number becoming a mandatory for almost all welfare benefits. We already know that the bank accounts, even the providential fund, everything is related to Aadhaar enrollment. But nowadays, if we are going to hospital, they will demand our Aadhaar card. Why they need the Aadhaar card? It is only to take a consultation for the doctor. Okay, so from the grassroots to high top level, everything is based on these Aadhaar numbers. So this is creating a more risk for us. Like weaker sections of society, they also need the Aadhaar, and opening bank accounts and provident funds, security telephone communications, remitting taxes, welfare schemes, and so on. Everything is related to the Aadhaar link. Okay. So what we have to do? First one is government must have to seek a honest review, and also they have to correct the course of their Aadhaar program before expanding it to the linkages further. And also they have to take the measures in order to enhance the reliability of biometric technologies. Otherwise, it will compromise their services to the hot and humid areas, the workers from where they will suffer a lot. So moving to the next article, this is mainly about the climate change and tackling new disease scenarios. Okay, so what it means? Because of the climate change, there are new diseases are emerging here, and it is a really health issue as well as environment ecological. It's disturbing our ecosystem. So this is from editorial. This is relevant in GS paper 2 in health and government policy schemes further, and GS paper 3 also it is important, and GS paper 1 also it is important, that is climate change. Okay, in geography perspective. So this is about this article. This is relevant in both in mains as well as in prelims. So the report, it have been released in March, that is the IPCC. IPCC means the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. They just noted that climate change have been heightens the global risk of infectious diseases. So there's an example, that is the periodicity of mosquito-borne diseases, that is a dengue fever. Now we don't know how long it will continue or how long it will come, how short it will be there. We don't know, because according to the climate change, everything is changing. Okay, the its transmission, its course, and its incubation period, everything is just changing. So we just took the from the editorial, they itself telling us about the example of the periodicity of the mosquito-borne diseases. So there are certain factors are there that disrupt the disease transmission cycle. So what will happen if the disease transmission cycles have been altered? It will directly alter the distribution of the vectors and animal reservoirs that host the parasite. So vectors are there, reservoirs are there, hosts are there. Vector means it's mosquito. And about host, in a particular host, they just carry or passes through this infection. And about reservoir, it may be animal, plant, or everything, anything may be. We can't ensure about this. It varies, depends upon the diseases, okay, or the type of vector. In reservoirs, as we can take an example as animal. So what will happen? The vector will inoculate in the reservoir body, and further it will transmit the disease to host, and then it will continue. So this is a type of cycle, okay. So everything will be changing from this perspective. So because of this changing, we have to change ourselves too. We have to invent new medicines, new methods, to strategies to prevent the infections, and new strategies to protect the environment, ecology. So all the things will be in very harsh situation. So the factors like the first one is variability in temperature, variability in precipitations, variability in humidity. All these factors will disrupt the disease transmission cycles. So heat have an influence on the genomic structure of pathogens. It have the capacity to change the genomic structure of pathogens. What will happen if the heat is changing the genomic structure of a RNA virus? Then what will happen? The size, its genomic nature, or as well as the transmissibility, everything will be changing immediately. So the already invented vaccinations, they may not have that much proper implementation, okay. They will not give us the exact result we are expecting. So everything will be changed. That is the change in their infectivity and virulence, okay. So how it happens, that is the climate change, and then more infectious, how it happens. First one is habitat loss. Because of the climate change, in the deeper forest, everything will get spoiled, and the habitat of lots of animals and birds, everything will be lost. So what will happen? Some animals may be disease carrying animals, some may not be not disease carrying, but moreover 99% of the animals, or the 90% of animals, for living like a clan, so everything they will carry or spread they will carry the disease, okay. Actually these diseases may not be harmful to the particular animal, but these diseases or these infections are fatal to the humans if they get any bite or something from that particular animal, okay. So because of the habitat loss, there is a force disease carrying animals. It will force the disease carrying animals to encroach upon the human territory. So there is a chance like a increased human animal conflict, okay. That is increasing the transfer of pathogen from wildlife to human will happen. So I already told you that the viruses that didn't harm animals can be fatal for humans. So it will further increases the chance of diseases. So example is Nipah virus. It is recently in Kerala. Okay, as well as the dengue fever in the West Bengal at the type of the monsoon season also, their prevailing thing is there. So all these things are just examples, okay. And the disease often find new transmission routes. This is because of the climate change. As well as environmental sources are there, and the medical tourism are there. We all know that. What do you mean by medical tourism? The tourists, the other persons from different countries will visit here for the to get the medical. In Kerala, we know it's famous for yoga as well as meditation. So everything is there. So what will happen? They can transmit the diseases from a particular area to here. And also there is a chance for invasive species and also contaminated food and water. So all these routes will often changes or often create new diseases. Okay, new disease transmission routes. So also there is a risk for introduction of invasive species. What will happen if the invasive species have been introduced in our society or in our locality? It will triggers our ecosystem. So the key forwards are safeguarding ecosystem. It's a first of all we have to do that. And the second one is curbing our greenhouse gas emissions. And third one is implementing active pathogen surveillance. And the unified approach. The unified approach is just like the One Health, but here we have to monitor both the human, animal, plant, environmental health. Everything we have to monitor here in the unified approach. Only because of these things we can combat our means we can combat with the climate change in order to prevent the disease transmissions and to completely prevent the new transmission of diseases. Okay. So this is the end of today's discussions. I hope you all got understood. Thank you.